Morning, folks. Welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Cassandra Terry, the mindset coach and founder of Manifesting Miracle Makers, rounded up her LinkedIn family once again. First, we've got Brian Smart, Mr. Content and Dadpreneur. He's striking the perfect balance between raising his youngest daughter and creating masterful content. Next, meet Denise Annalise Spiller, the gig expert and relentless traveler and writer. She turns every gig into an adventure. Then there's Jay Pasquale, the storytelling strategist, a poet and voiceover artist. He's weaving tales that'll make you think, laugh, and maybe even change your perspective. Get ready for a show filled with wisdom, inspiration, and the magic of family. Let's welcome Cassandra Terry and the rest of the fam.
Hello. Welcome to this week's edition, first edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show, Transformation Tuesday. We are glad to have you guys with us. As always, we love the opportunity to share and to connect and to see your comments and hear how you enrich what it is that we are sharing today. So we are excited to hear from you. So welcome. Jay's with me. Denise is traveling. Brian is having some technical difficulties. So we've seen him jump in and out. So we're sure that he'll join as technology allows. But you guys know how we do it. One of our favorite P's is persevere. We keep moving forward with another P. Purpose. When you have a purpose, when there's a reason for you getting up and doing the things that you're doing, when those obstacles hit, you figure out how to move around them, over them, under them, through them, whatever you have to do. They may cause you to pause, but they will never cause you to quit if you know your purpose, if you know your why. If your why is big enough, it will outpace any excuse you can ever come up with. That's why it's so important to know who you are, what's important to you, why it is you're doing the things that you're doing, because those types of details, knowing yourself at that level, is exactly what allows you to transform. As long as and that transformation begins in our mind, as long as we can think it and believe it, we can make that thing a reality, whatever it is. And I mean, whatever it is. If you want it bad enough, if it's aligned with your values, if it meets your purpose, it feeds you, and you will keep moving towards that thing, regardless of what the obstacles and situations are when life is lifing at its fullest. I see a couple of comments have come in. So let's see. Kim, and Alexis. Happy to see both of you ladies with us this morning. Thank you for joining. We are just getting started. Brian, I see you have persevered and you are here despite the technology challenges. So that makes my heart happy. Welcome. And we're going to go ahead and let me share with you guys today's quote. I really like it. I went through several before I landed on this one. Hey, Bree, good day. Good day. Are you headed to school? Awesome. What is that? What's on your phone? Are you watching us?
Tell them what it is. Today's Dad's birthday.
It sure is. Happy birthday. What are you doing to celebrate?
What you gonna do to celebrate my birthday?
It was good.
What did she say?
She said she gonna play with some balloons.
Awesome.
Thanks, out, child.
It's not my favorite play.
Did you sing happy birthday yet? You did? You want to sing it again? Let's do it.
Happy
You got to help Jay. Before you
Happy
get that smile,
birthday. That's
we'll have to
fine.
sing. We will give your dad the gift of not singing to him. How about that? That's probably the best gift we can give him today. Happy birthday, Brian. We pray
Thank
for
you,
a
thank you, thank you.
special day full of love and light and all good things.
Thank
Happy
you,
birthday,
thank you.
brother.
Thanks, brother. Any day on this side of the grass is like a brand new day to me.
There you go. There you go. But then there's those special days where you get to slow down a little bit and be extra grateful. Ooh, Brie, your hair is so cute.
It's banging, isn't it?
I'm digging it. I am digging the hair.
Say thanks, Miss Cassandra.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We didn't know we were going to have you as a special guest this morning. I'm honored.
Oh, talk to it. Tell us what's on your mind.
Yep. Anything you want to share with us today? Do you know what transformation is? What that word means? What? What do you think? It's a big
Bringing
word.
out
Bring out the news.
Bringing out the new.
Yes.
I think that's probably the best definition of transformation I've ever heard.
wow.
I really like that. I hope you guys that are listening heard, because they say out of the mouth of babes, right? The children lead us because they're pure of heart and they just say what's on their mind, not all the fluff and stuff. And she said, bringing out the new. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new opportunity. We are evolving, we're changing all the time. It's our job to be aware of that, to wake up and to tap into that change so that we have the opportunity to make the most of it, right? And bringing out the new is exactly what we're talking about. Every day, there's a new you. You're not the same you that went to bed last night. But do you know what change is happening? Are you participating in that change? Are you ensuring that that change is leading you where you want to go? That means you have to be awake and intentional and plugged in so that you're in the driver's seat, right? She said bringing out the new, but dad's driving. So her only opportunity is to go where he takes her. Are you in the driver's seat? Or are you so tapped out that change is just happening and things are going on around you and you're kind of bouncing around whichever way the wind blows you because you have not taken control of your life? How do we take control of our lives? Some people really don't believe that we have control. Some people actually, I was accused of, being one of those so positive, everything's going to work out for you. Somebody took real offense one time when I was talking like this. And what we mean is your choices. The decisions that you make every single day are taking you somewhere. The question is, are they taking you where you want to go? Do they align with the life that you would like to have? If they don't, why do I say you have control? Because you can make a different choice, right? If you want to accomplish something, but you're not doing the work to accomplish it, all you have to do is make a different choice, right? You pick up the pen, right, Jay? You write the book. It's something that you want to accomplish, so you pick up the pen and you write it. Or you get sidetracked by all the other stuff that's going on and you miss that opportunity, that moment to do it. It's that simple. Is life happening? Are there distractions? Are there real life things going on that's going to get in the way? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we're human, we're living, things will happen, things will get in the way. But when you're clear about where it is that you're going, when you're clear about your path, there may be time between the chapters. That's not necessarily a negative thing. But you pick up the pen and you start to write again because you knew where it was you were going in the first place. Sometimes we veer off the path. Sometimes we're forced off the path by the things that are happening around us. But when we're clear about what the path is, and when we stay tapped into ourselves and we know what it is that we're trying to accomplish, as soon as possible, we adjust, we learn from whatever it was that just took us off the path. We bring that learning with us and we get right back to what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Oftentimes, instead, we get so frustrated by the fact that we're off the path in the first place. We get overwhelmed, we get down on ourselves, and we spend the time that we could be productive in doing just the opposite because we're beating ourselves up and we're expanding that time. We're making it that much more difficult to get back to whatever it is that we're trying to do. That's wasted energy. You can take that same time and use those thoughts, use that time to build yourself back up. Man, I'm not quite there yet. Yet, Y-E-T, hopeful word. That means I may not have what I want right now, but I know that I can have it if I put in the sweat equity, if I do the work. Yet. That's not a period. That's not an ending sentence. When you put yet on something, you know there's something else to come. It's so much better than just a period. Periods seem so final. Things are done. They are just what they are. They are just what they are in light of the decisions that you've made up until this point. But at any point in time, you have the ability to make a different choice to get you back on track, to get you started wherever you are in your process. And that's the name of today's room, Transformation Tuesday. It is a process. And our quote for today is change is hard at first. It's messy in the middle and gorgeous at the end, by Robin Sharma. It's hard. Change, just by its very nature, for most people, it causes us to resist. You're pulling me out of the known. You're pulling me out of the comfortable. You're making me stretch myself. All those self-limiting beliefs come up. What if I build it and no one comes? What if I do it and no one likes it? What if I can't get it done? All those thoughts. What if I get it done and then I can't manage all the responsibility that comes along with it? Fear of failure on one end, I can't get it done. Fear of success on the other, if I do get it done, what if I can't handle the new responsibility? We waffle back and forth mentally between all those types of thoughts, holding us back from doing the things that in our hearts we really want to do. If it's found its way to your heart, if it's something that no matter where you are, no matter what's going on, no matter how long it's been, it keeps rising up in you. You keep being reminded of that thing. The desire keeps happening. That's a clue. That thing is calling to you. It's a part of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, right? So the best thing that you could do is to build a plan. See what that is, understand how it fits into your life, and then wonder how you go from where you are to where it is you'd like to be. But it's hard at first because it's calling you out of a comfortable place. It's calling you out of a safe place, right? But the only thing that you're going to have in comfort and safety is what it is you already have. If you want something different, there's no way to get it without some discomfort. So we have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And it's hard. Our minds are not necessarily made that way. We have to do some inner work to get to that point. We want the familiar. We want the known. We want safety, right? So we have to talk to ourselves and say it's okay. This is safe. This is something that I can do. This is something that I deserve. You have to talk to yourself. Be that person that people are looking at going, are they talking to me? Is that crazy lady talking to her? I sure am, because I needed to have a good conversation with me because I'm wasting this time. I've been gifted an opportunity and I'm squandering it because I'm fearful. I'm fearful. Fear is it's underneath so many of the things that we don't do. It causes us to do things that are out of character. It causes us to do things that are limiting because we're trying so hard to resist the change that's necessary for our level up, for our next. There's nothing like the next, but it's hard at first. And then it gets really messy. Why messy? Have you ever tried to do something that you've never done before? You're going to fumble around a little bit. You may fumble around a lot. You may actually fall on your face. But guess what? In all of those situations, you're learning, you're getting stronger, you're taking that information in, and you're adjusting. What we typically do is, we were talking about it maybe last week, Jay, comparing our day one to someone else's year 20. I don't think I should be doing this because I'm not nearly as good as the person who's been doing it forever, the person that I really admire in this space. I'll never be that good. I'll never be able to do it like them. No, because you're not supposed to do it like them. You're supposed to do it like you. They're reaching who they can reach in this space by doing it the way they do it. But there's a whole audience. There's people who are waiting for you to show up and do it the way you do it because you speak their language. They're going to resonate with you where they may not resonate with that other person that the most of the crowd is cheering for. They're a known name, but there's something about the way you do it that would attract the people who speak your language and who need your message. So folks are waiting for you. They're waiting for you to show up in the fullness of who you are. They're waiting for you to walk in your gifting. There's a void that only you can feel. And when you realize that, you can manage the messy so much better. But it does get messy in the middle. It gets frustrating. It can get overwhelming. You feel like, why in the world did I do this? Why did I put myself in this position? It was so warm and cozy over there. I barely know these people. I'm trying to speak about something that I'm still learning about. What if I mess up? If you mess up and you keep going, you're showing somebody how to recover. You're teaching yourself how good you are, how capable you are of doing difficult things. So you build up your confidence. You start to believe even more in yourself. You fall down. That's why they say you have to get right back on the horse. If you get bucked off, if life throws you off the horse and you stay down there too long, what happens? The fear builds, the doubt builds, and it's so difficult to get back on that horse. But if you get right back up there, before that experience gets to become a traumatic experience in your life, and all those negative emotions and doubts and things, before they actually get a chance to take root, if you get right back on the horse, you replace that experience immediately with a positive one, so the negative one doesn't get to grow deep roots. It's passed away. It's gone. Get right back on the horse as quickly as you can, because that period, the longer, the bigger, the wider it gets, the more fear and doubt and difficulty and resistance will build up. It's hard when life knocks you down. But you would not have been knocked down if you didn't have everything that you need to get back up. So don't stay down there too long. It gets harder and harder to find your way back up right. But you can. You keep working through the mess. You get up, you dust yourself off, you get right back on that horse, you try again. But this time, you know what you did wrong the first time. You know what caused that horse to buck you in the first place. So you don't do that. You're wiser than you were the first time. That fall was a learning experience. And that's the beauty of a growth mindset, realizing that. What did I do wrong? What could I do differently so that I don't get bucked this time? When you ask yourself those questions, the fall was not a wasted experience, right? That's where you learn the most. You integrate that learning, you hop back on, and now you're ready. It's like, okay, now I know how to sit here. I may not know how to make the horse go yet, but there's somebody there that's going to teach me that. But at least now I know how to mount the horse. I can get on and I can sit there. We've connected. It's not bucking me. One step at a time. One step at a time. The trainer's going to show up. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Watch people show up and support your dreams when you start taking action yourself to create your dreams. People show up, opportunities show up. You'd be surprised. The universe just shifts and starts to bring your dream to reality because you're walking in your purpose. The change is hard, super messy in the middle, and most people don't like messy, but it's so gorgeous at the end. When you actually realize your dream, when you accomplish that thing that you've been dreaming about for so long, let me tell you how sweet it is. You walk around with a smile on your face even when you're exhausted, right? You're saying hello to everybody. You're just beaming. It's a beautiful place. That's a mountaintop experience. You may start in the valley, but every step you take to dig yourself out is creating strength and opportunity and new skills to support when you get to that mountaintop, because now you have an entirely different view. You're seeing things you didn't see before. Opportunities that you didn't have before are coming your way. But because you dug yourself out in the first place, you built that strength, you built that resilience, you're ready to meet those opportunities and make the most of them. You won't squander them. You'll have that gorgeous end. You did the hard thing and started to accept the change in the first place. You went through all the messiness of learning that new experience in that new experience, how to show up, what to do, what skills do I need, what things do I need to get rid of. I have to prune, I have to prepare, right? And then I've been paced. It's taken me forever to get here. Time is relative. The time between the chapters, you were learning something. You were learning something that's going to make that chapter more positive, make it stronger, more impactful. So keep writing, keep doing what it is that you were designed to do. Don't worry about how much time has passed. Get back on the horse as quickly as possible and keep moving forward so that you get to that gorgeous end. All right, we have quite a few comments that have come in. Let me acknowledge those. Let's see. Life with Mandy says, Happy Tuesday. Yes, it is. Happy Tuesday to you as well, Mandy. It's great to have you with us. Alexis says, Wow, amazing. You have touched on all the thoughts and points that have gone through my mind. Thank you for such insight. You are very welcome, Alexis. She says, Exactly. We need positive self talk. Absolutely. There's enough external to you to paint you in a box, to lock you down, to push you backwards. There's enough of that. You have to be your own advocate, your own cheerleader. That's why we can't get caught up in all the vanity of success. We can't get caught up in the external rah-rahs. It feels so good. I had a couple of people bring me to tears a couple of days ago. I most of you guys know because I interact with those of you that I can see on a fairly regular basis. So you guys know that my book released, and it released at number one, new release on Amazon. Mind blown. But as it doesn't come full, it's in pre-sale. It's not available until the 25th of March, right? So I have a handful of people who are reading it now or who read it along the way, giving me feedback. And a couple of folks were just giving me the most wonderful feedback a couple of days ago. And they were telling me how it was affecting them. And because they were getting the message, it was hitting them how I intended. It was landing well. I got a little emotional. It was gorgeous at the end. I got really emotional, but man, has it been messy along the way. Man, was it hard to get started. When I first wrote it, there was hardly any personal stuff in it. Although I talk about my personal life and the struggles and all that good stuff, it's a different thing for me to write it. I have a hard time writing it. I can tell you about those experiences all day long, but writing them for some reason is just really, really difficult. So I had to have people give me that feedback. That was hard. I'm putting myself on paper. It could be there. It'll be there forever. I have to look at it. It's looking back at me. It's a different level for me when I write it than when I speak it. And so that was a real struggle. But to hear it being impactful and to hear people coming back and with how it resonated with them, it was really, really overwhelming. But As overwhelming and as joyful as that experience was, yes, Kim, if I was waiting for the rah-rah in my life, if I only received, if I only acted when I received positive feedback from people, if I only felt good about myself when some external force told me I was good, then I'm at the mercy of all of those external forces. So we appreciate them. We sometimes bask in them. I really did. I mean, I was emotional. I was basking in that moment. However, when you put yourself out there are going to be people who absolutely don't get it. There will be people who absolutely don't like it. They may ask for their money back. It was a waste of their time, right? I actually had an order that was canceled. It wasn't because of the content, because they can't get it yet, but I actually had a one order cancel. Now, I could focus on that one and I can really wonder what happened and allow that to take all of my joy of the accomplishment away. Or I can be grateful, one, that I just got it done. And I got it done at a level that I'm really, really proud of. I see it being impactful and helping people. So I've hit my goal. That was the real goal. Everything that comes after this is the icing on the cake, right? And so I'm enjoying the icing, but I can't depend on the icing. If I only feel good about myself when someone shows up and gives me a compliment, man, that's a difficult life. That's a life at the mercy of the opinions of others. You have to be able to look in the mirror, right? Before you do your hair, before you do your makeup, before you put on that nice suit, first thing in the morning, can you look in the mirror and really appreciate and love the reflection that's coming back to you? That was work, but I absolutely do. And so it's wonderful when I receive accolades, but I don't depend on them because I lift myself up every day. It's a choice. It's a choice. And I've got people around me who check me when my language is wrong. When I don't say the right thing about me, I have people who love me enough to reflect it back to me. But that doesn't sound like the mindset queen. That doesn't sound like you. Did you really mean that about yourself? I am so grateful for those people because that keeps my evolution. That keeps my transformation going. That sometimes you need that reflection back so you can see other opportunities to continue to grow, right? So your support system is so valuable. But your first support system is the reflection in the mirror. Can you lift you? Do you know the power that is within you? Do you see yourself as valuable? If you don't answer those questions, yes, immediately with passion, we need to talk. There's work to do. There's work to do. You cannot only feel good about yourself when someone else says so. That's people pleasing. That's having you connected to doing. I'm good in my worst state. Do you feel that about yourself in your worst state when you're all stressed out and not representing the best version of yourself? I love her too. She's been through a lot. She's worked hard to get to this point. I love her too. I love her especially. We have to see ourselves that way. And that will allow us, despite what's going on in the world, despite whether or not there's anyone to cheer us on, that will allow you to keep moving forward and keep walking in your purpose. Keep elevating. It's all within you. The crowd will come, the accolades will come, but don't wait for those to get started. Don't wait for those to be lit up, to feel good. Your purpose should do that for you. Walking in your purpose feels so good. Get there, experience that. You won't regret it. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. Robin Sharma. So let's see what everyone has to say. Oh, goodness. And then Brian will come over to you. Kim said, true facts. Thanks, teach. Ollie said, yay, hugs, everyone. The daily saving dance time was surprising me once again. Yeah, this week is tough because the time changes in the US, but not in other parts of the world. And so for there are some are behind and some don't change at all. So you have that period where we miss each other. We start our rooms and things, and people that are usually there aren't there. It'll smooth out in a few days. But yeah, that daylight savings time always trips us up a little bit. Ollie says, trusting the journey as if Jesus was there in our boat, even when the storm is raging, keeping faith and control our sail journey. He is there in our boat, right? Even when we don't invite him, even he's just waiting. He's just waiting for us to say, I give in, I give up, I trust you. Man, you want that boat to sail? Say I trust you and watch what happens. Ali says, messy is the message. Yeah. And working through the messy, your message evolves. It gets better. It gives you points of view and things to share with others who are on their way. They may be at the beginning in that hard stage, or they might be right at the beginning of messy. When you come out to the other end and you're in that gorgeous space, you have so much to share. Your message has been elevated. Kim says, can we get it early? Please message me later. I need my teacher's textbook. I love you, Kim. I'll send it over to you right after. Please read it. And what I would like for the people who are reading it early is to already write up your review so that when it goes live on the 25th, you can go ahead and put it out there and just help me get the word out there. I want the algorithm working in my favor, pushing it out to people I don't know, people who don't know me, so that I have the opportunity to get a bestseller. So that's my request. But I will, regardless of your response, I'm going to send it to you after we wrap this up. Ollie says, for me, I'm writing my story on paper. I love it. He says, seeking the internal validation of us and of God, not external validation of others. It's our ship at the end. Absolutely. Between you and your Savior, whatever you call him, that's who should be steering your ship. If your ship sits still until someone else comes through and brings the wind because they've complimented you, or then you're missing it. You are missing it. I'm so grateful for every positive comment that you guys give me. Don't get me wrong. It encourages me, it motivates me, it keeps me moving forward. But I'm encouraged and motivated and moving forward without it. You guys are the icing on the cake. You give me that extra push. You help accelerate things. But I'm at a stage in my life where without it, I'm still moving forward because the calling is so loud. The path is really clear. The things that I need to do, I'm committed and locked in on. I can see them. I may not know what's going to come of me doing those things. I don't have the full bird's eye view, but I know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing in this moment. And there's so much gratification out of having that and knowing that and walking in that. Ollie says, Mama Cass, sing your own kind of music, make your own special song, even if nobody else sings along. Yes, I love that. He said, I'd rather prefer to receive chocolates than accolades. Me too. I love me some chocolate, Ollie. Kim says, keeping it real. That's what I love about the fam. Conchita says, you are on point today, Cassandra. That first look in the mirror each day sets the tone for your day's offerings to the world. Love oneself. Let me read that slowly. That first look in the mirror each day sets the tone for your day's offering to the world. Love oneself. That's deep, Conchita. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on how you're going to take all this deepness and put it out there too, because you light fire in the rooms that you show up in every single time. And you are such an encourager. I'm so curious about you. What do you do for a living? How are you there? You are such a special being, and you must be doing something with all of this. I'm just curious to know more. And then there's Kim. She says, of course, anything for you. I appreciate you, Kim. Another encourager. Always shows up, always have wonderful things to say. Ollie says the key. Who are you listening? Yeah, who are you listening to? It's important. And then Kim says, you motivate us, you push us. Have a great day, all. Happy birthday, Brian. Jumping off in 5 minutes or so. Yes, I know we run up against your work day, but you still make time for us every day. And we certainly appreciate you, Kim. So you go off and you have a wonderful day. Make it so. Have a wonderful day on purpose. All right, birthday man. I was gonna say birthday boy, but even though you're not gonna tell us how old you are, I think you qualify as birthday man. So if you have dropped off the little one and you're in a position where you can talk, we would love to hear from you. Are you able to unmute, Brian? Doesn't sound like it. So let's go over to you, Jay. Well,
Yep.
no, there he is. There he is.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
I'm here, moving slow. Thank you. I'm always, somebody asked me what day is your birthday, and honestly, every day is my birthday. Like that's just how I see it, and it's not some egotistical, better than anybody else thing. I think everybody should feel like every day is their birthday. You are your president. Every single day you wake up, every day of my life is a gift. And
Amen.
I treat it that way. Every day is my birthday. It's funny. I heard you when you said you're not gonna tell us how old you are. I'm glad you didn't ask Bree, because Bree would have told you. She gives away my secret.
I know better.
She always tells people. Yeah, she always tells people how old I am. And after she tells them, she gives them this this look. They give her this look, rather. I'm giving somebody a look because they almost hit me. But they give her this look when she tells them the age. She's always saying, "Well, how old is your dad?" And she's quick to say it. "Oh, he's 73." I said, "Baby, today's my birthday. How old is dad?"
Like
she said, "Oh, 74." I said, "How are you keeping?" What did she say?
I thought she told me you were 78 one time.
She might have knocked it up to 78. But she usually says 73. 73 is her number. 73. And she kept up with it today, 74. But I don't feel 74. Nah, I don't feel 74. I don't think I look 74. You know why? Because I'm not 74. But my daughter is insistent. Yeah, she's insistent on me being at age. So I just accepted it every time we go out somewhere. We were in the store yesterday, and she said something. She saw balloons. She was like, "Hey, Dad, tomorrow's your birthday." She said, "You want to get you some balloons?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "How many you gonna give me?" She said, 73 for your age. And somebody was standing beside her, and they looked at me, and we looked at them, and we went back to talking about me being 73. And we had a good laugh about it. And that's what transformation is. It's a matter of acceptance. It's a matter of acknowledgement. It's a matter of knowing. You said it earlier. It starts at the beginning, it's messy in the middle, and it's glorious at the end. I've never seen anybody clean up a room, and before they got clean in the room, it didn't get worse than it was when they started. That's what life is. There are different times in your life. Some people feel as if when you get to a certain age, everything's supposed to smooth out. And my uncle reminds me all the time, that's not what it is. It's constantly moving things around. It's constantly making adjustments. It's constantly reflecting and trying to do it better, right? That's what transformation is. Transformation is not a one-off thing. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly turning it into something different. Like, I'm a guy that is literally dropping kids off at school, hugging little kids. I'm telling you, if you had known me when I was younger, you would be like, man, that is a complete transformation. Bree and I were in the store a week ago, and I saw a guy that I used to hang out with, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he was like, man, did you have her? Because she looks just like you. And he giving me this look like I never thought that would be you, brother. Transformation. It started in my mind, and I was accepting of the fact that this is constant. This is something that you'll always have to do. Let me tell you one more thing. Cassandra, you talk about it all the time. There's no transforming without knowing where you want to go, right? So create an objective, make a goal, stick to it, and you can transform your life into whatever you want it to be. Has there ever been, when you look back over your life and you think about the time that you've set goals for yourself, the times you've decided this is what I want to do, how many times has that really not transmuted into that physical thing? Think about that. Every single time you make a goal, you make it up in your mind, hey, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do it, and there's nothing that's going to stop me. 9 times out of 10 gets done. And if it doesn't, you realize, really didn't even want to do that anyway. No big deal.
Mhm.
That's transformation. Happy Tuesday. Transformation Tuesday. Thanks, Cassandra.
You are very welcome. Very welcome. Enjoy your special day. I agree. Every day should be treated like your birthday because every day is a gift. When we open our eyes in the morning, we are opening the gift of life one more time. However, today happens to be the day to commemorate the first time that you did that. So we do celebrate you, sir, and hope you have a absolutely wonderful day. Ollie said, "Happy rebirth day, Brian, and everyone too. Each day is a rebirth." This was before you said what you said, Brian. And then Conchita says, "Likewise, I desire to meet the entire fam one day. You all bring gems each day." My mom's planning on meeting you soon, Conchita. So she's excited about that. Ollie says, "Boom, I guessed it. Every day is a present gift." And then Conchita says, "Thanks, Brian. It gets messy in the middle. That's a fact." And she also said, "Birthday blessings to you, Mr. Content, Brian Smart." So there you go. The celebration continues. And with that, Jay, you've been quiet and patient. We've seen a few finger swags. So go ahead and tell us what's on your mind.
First, happy birthday uh, to the birthday gentleman, Brian. You're right, man. Every day is every day we should treat it as our birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get to wake up, and it's the dawn of a new day, and it's the dawn of our thinking, um, of it being a transformation, another day that we can accept transformation.
Mm-hmm.
So transformation should be every day. So just thinking about it in those terms is can be very helpful to us and literally transformational. Couple of things you said, boy, I can remember when I first went to um, school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was 4 years old, right? And they put a coloring book in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
and that coloring book at the end of it um, looked like Picasso threw up, um, because I couldn't color within the lines for some reason. And the teacher was saying, you got to color within the lines, and and I can remember that clearly was one of the first lessons I had as a child, and it stuck with me. And every time I was in an art class or something like that, I remembered that time. And I go back to that because my dad, he paints, and you've seen some of his paintings lately. And that's another story. He's feeling well enough to paint again, so that's good, right?
Hey, that's amazing.
Right. But I went from not being able to color within the lines to be able to create my own creations,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now that's just, to me, the the idea of transformation. As a child, trying to color within the lines on a coloring book, it can be difficult for some, right? and it gets messy. But you know, you get older, and as you get older, as you progress, those coloring books start to look like works of art, right? And then after those coloring books, you can have your own creations.
Mhm.
This is transformation. Sometimes it takes time. It's not going to look like a masterpiece.
It's a process.
It's a process, right? You're not going to start out at age 4 unless you're, you know, a prodigy that you're going to have these great works of art. You're going to have to start somewhere. So before I get any further, let me talk about where we're going to start with the Bible verse, and
Mhm.
it's gonna be that letter to the Romans, chapter 13, verse 12. The night is nearly over, the day is almost here. So let us put aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. And this is the idea of transformation, especially in the context of spiritual awakening and your moral renewal.
Mhm.
The verse is using that metaphor of night and day to talk about the transition from darkness to light, and maybe from ignorance to understanding.
Mm.
And if you're in a really bad spot, from sin to righteousness. And it really is a powerful message it really is a powerful message of transformation and renewal. Like we were just talking about the rebirth,
Mhm.
and it's urging us to embrace the light of righteousness and throw off that darkness of sin and prepare for the dawn of a new spiritual era. So every time you wake up, think of it in that regard. This is my opportunity to come out of the darkness and come into the light. And and so on that idea of creation or creating things, right? When I started out writing, I wasn't, we misspell stuff. Our grammar is off, right? And you're not always going to have a masterpiece, as I say, with like painting and being an artist in that sense. We don't have bestsellers at age 4. Unless again you're a prodigy, but there's that process. It's going to be messy. And if we look at it from the standpoint of like what Brian was talking about, cleaning the room, whew, man, I will say I've been in places
I will say
where
I've been in.
the um the room was really messy. It wasn't my
Mhm.
room. Um, and I just thought to myself, I wouldn't want to be the person having to clean that up. You know? And because I want to get to how you say you want to get it off the to-do list to the to-done list.
Mhm.
That's where I want. There's no in between because I hate the in between because I know the in between is gonna be the difficult part. Where am I gonna put this to be able to get this over here? Where am I gonna get this stuff cleaned so that I can get it back in the room? Right? How am I gonna do, all those types of things? And I'm
Yep.
thinking about this.
Mhm.
Luckily, I don't let my house get that that bad. I'm always cleaning. I'm always pushing things aside. I'm always taking things apart so that, man, I can come into a space and I know I'm going to sit down on my chair and not worry about what I'm going to be sitting on.
Mm.
you know, I don't like being on an episode of Hoarders. No, that's not my house. Um, and lastly, I'm going to say a joke. You know, um,
And lastly,
Hey, hey,
I'm gonna say,
well, you had
hey,
something?
Day.
you know, um, well, you had something?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Say the joke. I want the joke. Then I'm gonna tell you what I gotta tell you.
Okay. So the joke was, you know, um,
Okay.
I
So
was a
the
bachelor,
joke was,
and I'm a young guy, and people are coming over to the house, and mom and dad's not in the house anymore. I'm in charge of the house, um, and people were like, "Is it okay to come over?" And I'm like, "What? Yeah, man, my house is clean." And they would say, "Really, man? Your house is not clean, dude. I know you. You party. You don't have time to clean your house." I said, "Yeah, my house is clean. You can eat off my floor." And they're like, "Really? Wow, okay." And I say, "Yeah. There's ketchup, there's spaghetti from the other day, there's pizza on the floor, so you can eat off the floor."
There's plenty to eat.
It's, it's, there's plenty to eat. They're like, "Dude, shut up." So, I'm kidding, right? I've always had a spotless house, and it's that OCD in me. I got to make sure everything's in its place. It's got to be the certain way I want it, and so I know that process of going from the difficult part of starting, right, and then getting into the messy part. But when you finally reach the end, where you've got that one thing put away, the last thing to put away, and you look around and you're like, "Oh wow, man, I got a really nice house."
Gorgeous at the end.
Gorgeous at the end. So I
Yes.
thought I'd bring all that to the table. Go ahead, B. You had something. Go ahead.
Can you unmute Brian? There it is.
Oh man, I was just gonna say,
Can you
it's
unmute Brian? There it is.
yeah, I got a little lag time today.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, have you ever thought about how many stories in the Bible liken your life to a house? Like there are all kind of stories that talk about cleaning your house and making sure your house is in order and sweeping around your own back door and songs that speak of the same thing, right? So many different things that talk about that house. I use that house analogy not just in cleaning, but in building also, right? Anytime you're building anything, you have to look at it like you're building a house. Anytime you're tearing down anything, you have to look at it like you're tearing down a house, right? And the reason I like that analogy is because a house has so many different rooms. It's got so many different aspects that have to be put in place first before you can actually live in the house. There's no need in putting the house up without a good foundation, right? There's no need in trying to move in if you don't have proper electrical and plumbing and water delivery. If you don't have those things, you really don't have a house. If you don't have a good sewage system to get rid of your trash, your waste, you don't have a house. That analogy goes across almost everything that you do. And I mean, it's not just about tearing down. When I write a book, I look at it like I'm building a house, right? The book is the house. The chapters are the rooms. The things in each chapter is the stuff in the room. And I take my time. I write out what I want that book to look like. That's my blueprint, right? And then when I go back, I'm making renovations to it. That's some people might call it an iteration, other people call it an upgrade. When you do an upgrade to the kitchen, right? Because that's the place that you spend your most time. That's where your family is at. That's where your family is at, right? That's where your love is. It's in the kitchen because everybody huddles in the kitchen. That's why if you ever look at any of these home and garden magazines, kitchen upgrades are the most expensive and they have the highest ROI, right? they bring the most return because of that, because of that one thing. When you think about building and you think about tearing down, think about it as a house. Think about what's most important first. Focus on that and keep at it until you get what you want. Nothing in this life is unattainable. Everything is already yours, right? Stop waiting to the end and begging for the answer, and start being thankful at the beginning and doing the work to get it. Just like when you're putting a house together, just like when you clean in a room, right? It's all the same. And it's a reason that those stories are likened to that analogy, so that everybody can get it, so that everybody can benefit from it, right?
I want
I'm
to
all
jump in.
for it, Cassandra. I'm all for it.
Putting
I
the
want to
birthday
jump
soapbox away. Go ahead, Jay.
in. I like your soapbox. I'm gonna get on it for a little bit. Yeah, I'm right there with them, and I think what it boils down to when we're talking about true transformation, right? And you're talking about that house analogy, is what are we standing on? What foundation do we have, right? Um, if the foundation is sound, we're gonna have we're gonna be able to renovate that house. If it's got good bones, we're gonna be able to renovate that house. But if there's not a good foundation, you're gonna have to tear that thing all the way down to the dirt. And so a lot of us have that good foundation. Um, and if the foundation is in the word, is in faith, is in your support system, the bones, oh wow, we're gonna go so far with being able to make that house, an even more beautiful place to live. Speaking of beautiful places to live, we got Denise. She's joining us.
Hey, sis.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Good to
How are
see
you
you.
guys? Good seeing you guys.
We are great. We are
Denise.
great. So we've had quite a few comments that have come in. Let me catch up on those, and then we'll pitch over and see if Denise wants to share something to take us out. All right. So Conchita says, yes, indeed. Can't wait to meet Mama J. Praying to have a glorious day. Cynthia Noakes, my girl. Oh, I'm blingless. Cynthia, look at me. Cynthia adorns us with beautiful jewelry. So I need to. I just all of a sudden felt really plain when I saw you there, Cynthia. I skipped all the tapestry today, but tomorrow I'm gonna try to remember to bling out in your honor because I have quite a few of your beautiful pieces. Ollie says, glad to hear the good news from your dad, Jay. Color your life with your own palette. Has dot 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 of chocolate. He says, love this. Thanks for quoting this. And he was referring to the verse which he shared, and I was able to share on the screen. And Cynthia really resonated with one of the things you said, Jay. She said, oh my, from ignorance to understanding. And then Gregory offered an additional quote, verse. Proverbs 12 and 17 proclaims, as iron sharpens iron. Let me say that again. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And one of the things that we talk about all the time is the collaboration. We talk about the feedback loop and knowing who your support system is. Your support system is not going to just be rah rah cheerleaders. Your real support system tells you what you need to hear when you need to hear it. So, when you're venturing off course, if you're not doing things that, yeah, trachea chop, they'll thump you in the throat, as Denise likes to say. So yes, your support system will be honest in love. Honest in love. I feel like that's one of the verses sometimes that people go too far with and use as an excuse to be mean and rude. Any message is easier to receive. The medicine goes down a lot easier if you put a little bit of sweetness with it. So iron does, though, in fact, sharpen iron. And our strength should come from being in relationship with those who we respect and who honor us and who can give us the information that we need to continue to grow. Conchita says Romans 12 and 13, perfect verse for today's Transformation Tuesday, Jay. You are a true student of the word. Thanks for an excellent share today. Ollie says imperfect creations are even more important than creating a masterpiece. How many paintings that Picasso made that are crap, but now worth thousands before he was able to create the masterpieces we all know? Cynthia says, in the between, sometimes things get unfinished. They do. But we have to evaluate why, right? If maybe our focus changed, our desires changed, we got in the middle of something and determined that it wasn't what we thought it was gonna be. So it's not the right place to be. So there's reasons where unfinished could be valuable. Re evaluate and make a different decision for yourself. But otherwise, that should be a temporary state. That unfinishedness should be temporary while you make the adjustments that you need to get back on course, finish what you started, and it's back to getting back on that horse that we were talking about earlier. And then Ollie said, sit and cherish, CHIR, to go with the sitting ish, every day where you are able to create. Um, he said, ha ha ha, pizza party never ends. He's OCD or ODVD. As you were saying OCD, I was thinking organized, clean, deliberate, done right. There's all kinds of ways that we can take a look at a thing and reclaim that language, because that's something that we talk about so clearly. But OCD is a diagnosis. OCD, there are some real struggles that go along with that. So we're not claiming that diagnosis. But if you've got an organized house, if you have a clean house, if you have your house done right, that's the only OCD that I'm going to accept from you, Jay. All right. Let's see. And then Conchita says, the birthday boy spitting gems today. He said, be thankful at the beginning. Love it. Yeah, Denise, today is Brian's birthday. And Ollie said, yay, Denise. And then my mom, Aromatic Vision, says, good morning, fam. That's good, Jay. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Well, preach, Brian. I like that analogy. Lord, Jay has gone to the foundation. That's where the foundation. You can build the most beautiful structure on a bad foundation, and it's not going to be what it could be. And eventually it'll fall. So the foundation means everything. Conchita said, hey, Denise. And then Cynthia says, oh, thank you. All right, Cassandra Terry, that's my mom. Holly says, another way of organization must be our OCD conversation. Let's see. I don't know if I can say this, Gregory, but I'm going to try. Kintsugi, literally gold seams, is a traditional Japanese repair method that takes the broken or chipped parts of cherished vessels, glues them back together with a lacquer, and paints the seams with gold. I have seen this. I know exactly what you're talking about. A beautiful metaphor for ourselves. Absolutely. Because we've all gone through things that have broken us, right? But we also are put back together, maybe not as a seamless vessel like we were before, but in those fragments, when you put them back together, they can still be strong. It can be something beautiful. It can be something useful. And if you decide to paint the seams with gold, you're realizing the value that is still in you, even with, and in my opinion, especially with the things that you've been through to get you to this point. Ooh, Gregory, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Ollie says OCD. Ollie creates differently. I love that. My mom said, good morning, Denise. Bring it home. And then Ollie says, Kintsugi. Yes, love this. Kintsugi Ollie. All right, Denise. Everybody is waiting with anticipation, ma'am, for what you have to share. So bring it home.
Grand Rising and good morning. It's a weird thing to have laryngitis and not be sick. If anybody's ever lost their voice, but you're not actually sick, it's such a strange feeling to be trying to grab hold of something that you know it's there, but you can't get it. So I came out of laryngitis like 2 days ago. But the funny thing is, I thought I was early. I'm off on my time. I was so shocked to jump right into a show, and I saw live, and I was like, oh, we've already started. So I wanted to say something to what Cynthia said. I love this quote, but not to belabor it, but she said in the middle, she was talking about in the middle, how things get unfinished. I went to an art show 2 weeks ago, and it was my son's art show, and he had all this new work out that I hadn't seen, and I'd seen all the old work. There was a piece sitting on the floor, a real big piece sitting on the floor that myself and another person walked up to, and we were like, wow, it doesn't have a price on it. Pieces that were on the wall were being sold, and we were just like, what about this one? And he said, it's unfinished. And we looked at each other, my friend and I, and we're like, it's unfinished because she wants to take it home. I want to take it home. We're almost kind of arguing about who's going to get it. And he's like, no, I don't think it's finished. Isn't it amazing how the person who creates can just keep going, especially painters? They don't know when it's done sometimes. They don't know when to stop. But we walked up and we're ready to walk out with this thing. We had to convince him to sell it to her. And he still was unsure about it. And I think that it means something when we're in our own stuff. I like to speak to what you said, Cassandra, about being around the right people, being around people who are going to tell you the truth. Sometimes somebody else has to tell you when to move. Sometimes somebody else has to say, you've been there for a minute. It might not be healthy. It might not be good, or it might be good. Maybe you need to sit down. Maybe you need to move. Sometimes you can't see it yourself. Somebody else has to see it. And when you surround yourself with strong people that have love in them, and not just what you were talking about, that bit about sometimes people just use even scripture. They might use it to dig on you a little bit. They come in and validating that mess, with scripture, with something positive, but it's not a positive thing that they're trying to say to you. So when you surround yourself with people who love you and are going to tell you the truth, man, that's going to help you transform. It's going to help you grow, and it might help you get out of the middle and get to the end, get to that beautiful, gorgeous end, because you're sitting in it, not sure that the painting is done. But anyway, at the end of that, he did sell the painting. She does have it up. She sent me a little video of it. It looks gorgeous, and he was so happy about it that she sent him the video too. And he was just like, wow, I really didn't think that piece was finished. But to see it on a wall as a completed piece, it'll help an artist, I think, go to that next level and get to the end in other projects and in life in general. So thank you guys for receiving me. Love you all. Thank you guys for the positivity and the energy. I really did think I was early. I'm going to get my time frame right. I'm going to get it together. I promise y'all. Love you guys.
Yeah, daylight savings time happened over the weekend. So we sprang forward.
Yeah,
daylight
yes.
savings time happened over the weekend. So we sprang forward.
That's awesome, Denise. Hey, can you indulge me for a moment, Cassandra?
Happy
Certainly.
birthday, B. Happy birthday. Happiest birthday. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful, wonderful, wonderful, blessed birthday.
Thank you, Denise. That was my birthday right there. When I saw that smile on your face, I got my wish. That's all good. Hey, for a moment, I don't normally do this. Normally, I'm talking about life. Normally, I'm talking about family and being a dad most of the time, because that's where I spend the majority of my time. That's what I love to talk about. I love being a dad, like for real. I actually love this stuff. It's crazy, but I love it. But for a moment, after something you said and after something Denise said, Cassandra, you said something about foundation. For a moment, we're gonna make a shift here, and we're gonna talk about monetizing. We're gonna talk about money. We're gonna talk about business. Okay. For just a moment, right?
Okay.
Cassandra said foundation. Denise said it not being perfect, right? Looking at your life in that way. When you think about creating anything, you have to start with a good foundation. That foundation is you. You got to accept you for the way you are and bring that to the table. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop doubting what you have to offer. Stop doubting if anybody else wants it. Believe me, there are plenty of people that want what you have if you believe you have something. Put that on the table. Put that to a plan and make that thing a reality, whatever it is. And the reason I said, if you'll indulge me, is because Cassandra did just that thing. 6 months ago, there was no book. There was no novel. There was no 100-page plus, not low content like you refer to it as, which I just call it focused content, right? We just getting rid of all of the fluff. But on Amazon, there are categories for that content that exceeds that 72 page, I believe, is low content, and anything below, right? She put that together. Guess what that is? That's her. That's her foundation. That's everything she's worked on for over a decade on paper, delivered, saying, hey, you can get this and you can learn from what I learned to get me to where I'm at. And believe it or not, she actually is the mindset queen. So now what she's done for everyone, for herself, she's doing for everyone else. And she's doing it again for herself, because as that foundation, and here's that business side, as content, she can take that piece and turn it into anything else she wants, she desires. This is an unlimited supply. This is a never empty content bank. One asset, you can literally turn one asset into everything that you need. For anybody that's listening and is looking to take advantage, because this opportunity is not going to always be here. The opportunity that you have right now to take your knowledge, to take your confidence in that knowledge and turn into a revenue stream, right? Insurance, to keep you from being concerned with what's going on from a financial aspect. This opportunity is not going to always be here. While you have the opportunity, do that. There are tons of resources, tons of tools, tons of people like Cassandra that know what they're talking about, that can help you get to where you need to be, and you don't have to stress about it anymore. This is that one shot. Take this opportunity, write your story, whatever that story is about. For Cassandra, it was about overcoming self-doubt, limited beliefs, all of those things that affected her. Your book might be about how you do construction work, how you do forestry service, how you are this professional executive chef that only caters to uh, government prospects. Whatever it is, who cares? It's yours. Make it yours. Share it with the world. Use that as your foundation. Use that as what gets you started, and you will never run out of things that you can use to sustain your life and your family. I didn't mean to jump on the soapbox at the end, but that part too.
I got one more. I got one more. Give me, give me just a little bit.
Go
Here,
ahead, Jay.
here's that one more. I haven't read it yet. I want to, but let me tell you, even though I haven't read it yet, this is the power of the collective. I started writing the next chapter that I needed to write. So just her finishing her book, I was like, look at me. I've been talking about my dang book forever. And she done she done put it down and published hers. And I was like, you know what? There's there's no stinking excuse. I need to do it. And so last night I told her I was already in that chapter and I was writing. So I finished it. Not only did I finish it, that chapter, not the book. Give me some grace for just a little bit, and I'll get it done. But this is what I said. I said, there's no excuse. She's able to do this. She's providing the example for everybody. Let me also to follow suit. I can't be talking about it and not being about it, especially when you have a mindset queen who showed you up. So I appreciate you. I say all of that to say I appreciate you for doing what you do, Cassandra, and thank you for for pushing me in that
Thank
direction.
you.
All
That
right.
when you messaged me last night that you were in your chapter, it gave me so much joy. And hearing you say it was even, who doesn't love to have people lift them up and praise them. So everything that Brian was saying was great, and I appreciate it so much. But knowing that something that I did kind of helped get somebody else going is literally why I believe I was created, right? The book and anything that comes out of me is for that purpose. I think I don't have, like, shame is just one of those things that I grew out of a long time ago. So I can talk about my stuff and be okay. I don't think that's by accident. I think I was built that way, and I went through some of the things that I went through because I'm supposed to tell my story, because in me doing so someone else is going to be better. They'll see that there is life on the other side of whatever it is that they're going through. And you don't just get through it, you don't just survive, you thrive. I have a wonderful life. I have a great family. I have an awesome career. I love my business. I love showing up with you guys every day. Is every day peaches and creams? Heck no. All the issues that everybody else in the world has, they hit me when it's my turn. But I've never lost my smile. I've never lost my joy. And I believe that that's a part of my gifting, that God gave me that. And be with going through some difficult times, He put those two together for that message to come out, that there's life on the other side of whatever you're going through. You may not see the light at the end of the tunnel. You may not be able to see that full light, but if you can just see enough for the next step, that's enough. Take that next step. And in doing so, you move yourself forward and the light moves forward with you so that you can make the next step. And one step at a time, one wobbly kneed, shaky voiced, trembling, scary step at a time, you get there, right? Bravely. Brave is not the opposite of fear. Brave is doing it anyway. I'm scared a lot. I'm like, oh Lord, what if I mess this up? More and more people are listening. What if I say something that triggers somebody? It happened last week. We were on a show, and something I said, no, it was my show, really triggered somebody. And that person came unglued. And most of that angst and stuff was pointed towards me. And on the inside, I was feeling smaller and smaller and darker, and I was getting so worried. But thank God it's not my inside that comes out in those moments. What actually came out was nurturing and directive and helpful for not just that individual, but for the other people who were listening. That's because it's my purpose. I had to push my stuff aside. That stuff that I was feeling on the inside was when I focused on me in that moment, right? Taking it all personally. But when I focused on the person that was hurting and the people that were listening who was getting that ick all over them, what I was feeling on the inside in that moment didn't really matter. I had a job to do. I had people to try to reach. I had to try and pull that thing back together and make sure that folks were okay. I needed to go through that experience because experiences like that show you where you're strong and where you have additional work to do. That's how you know where you really are. If you never get tested over the material, you really don't know whether or not you know it. You just don't. And so that was a test. Did I pass it? Did I fail it? I don't know. But I got through it, and I know I provided a service that was needed in that moment. And sometimes that's the best that you can do. And then you take that and you learn and you incorporate that learning for the next time, because the next time will come. It'll look a little different, but it's coming because we're still here. So don't ever think that any of us, that anybody has it all together, right? I wake up and have those days and it's like, oh, and then I remember first thing I'm supposed to do is be grateful. What are the three things that I'm grateful for? And I try to grab hold of those emotions before they grab hold of me. In those moments where I don't feel like I showed up as my best self, I need to look at those moments and see, what do I need to do to repair it? What do I need to do so I don't get so triggered the next time? Life keeps lifing, and if we allow ourselves to, we keep learning. We will never graduate until our last breath is our true graduation. Until then, we're learning, we're growing, we're figuring things out. And I tell you guys all the time, y'all just have a front row seat to me trying to figure it all out. Sometimes I'm doing okay, sometimes I'm not. But the smile is real, the joy is real. Even in the midst of my stuff, there's a core that's untouched, that can't be touched because it's protected. I choose to show up how I show up. I realize that I have those choices. And when I'm not making the right choice, Denise said it. Sometimes we need somebody to let us know. We all have blind spots. We all have blind spots. We can only see so far at any point in time. That's the power of a collective. That's the power of networking, the power of a strong group, a support system. Because sometimes people can see what it is that you can't see. Hopefully, they can deliver it to you in a way that you can receive it, because that will accelerate your growth. Those blind spots get us. We trip over the things we can't see all the time. But oh, when you've got Denise to say to girl, watch out. That step right there is weak. So if you put all your weight on it, you're going to twist your ankle. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble. How do I know? Because I did it. And I want to make sure you don't have the same fall that I had. How valuable of a friend is that? Now, if I'm hard-headed, I'm like, girl, you just clumsy. And I go and take that step and I fall, that's my fault. I had the information. I chose not to use it. So now I've got to pick myself up, bandage myself up, and deal with the choice that I made. But it was a choice. So ask yourself, what choices have I made? What choices am I making to create the life that I'm experiencing? If you look at it that way, and you can be honest and open with yourself, you put yourself in a position to make different choices, therefore having different results, therefore creating a different life. So change is hard at first, messy in the middle, but gorgeous at the end. Robin Sharma. I know there's a lot of comments that have come through, but we are way, way over, and I need to transition into the rest of my day. Thank you guys so much for such an engaging conversation, for sharing so many gems with us. Everybody, if y'all can go to the after the call, go to the post and reply to the comments, so that we can honor all the gems that everyone has dropped so far. That would be great. I'm going to do the same. So we will take a look at your comments, and we will respond as quickly as we can, but we have got to wrap it up. So I've got other obligations that I need to get going to, but I am so grateful for you guys. Brian, have a wonderful birthday. Denise, enjoy Grenada and share some pictures with us and videos. We can't wait to see the world through your eyes. Jay, keep writing, brother. We believe in you. We know when it drops, it's going to be amazing. And you guys, the book is available for pre-sale right now, the digital version. It's only $2.99. It's an 80% discount up until March the 25th when it becomes live. So go ahead and get it. It's going to help me maintain my spot, little vanity, #1 release on Amazon. That will never be taken away from me. I will always have the #1 released book on Amazon on that day. That is so amazing to me. But I do want to keep the momentum going so that more and more people have the opportunity to know about it, to read it, and hopefully have their life transformed by it. So $2.99 US, guys. Go to Amazon under my name and you will see a picture that looks just like what's behind me. The name of the book is Soar Beyond Limits: Unleashing the Power Within. That's what we talk about every day. We've just distilled it down to 125 pages that you can walk through and change your life. I believe that with everything in me. I believe that my life up to this point was designed for this book to come forth, and it will reach the masses and people's lives will be changed. I believe that. And when you believe something, you're halfway there. So you guys check it out. $2.99. Get the downloaded version on the 25th. And if you want the paperback, the hardback, it's all going to be available March the 25th. And I can't wait to hear your feedback. Tresor every day of your life. Yes, Ollie. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Make it a great day on purpose. Purpose it in your mind that today will be a good day. And when you've made that decision, external circumstances don't change it. You will have a great day. You will find the sunshine even in the storm if you so choose. So we will see you guys back here tomorrow for Wake Up Wednesday, where we will talk about intentionality, the power of being intentional. I'm excited because you guys were on fire today, and I can't wait to hear what you're going to bring tomorrow. So make it a great day, and we'll be back here tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you join us every week, Tuesday through Friday, 7:15 a.m. Central Time, for the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. For advertising or sponsorship questions, reach out to Cassandra or any member of the FAM Collective on their LinkedIn profiles. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.